Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a quite a fun puzzle. Um, and by fun I mean um, it reminds me of it's kind of the good old days, college days. Um, if I'll kind of explain what I mean by that, but the name of this puzzle is The Scream by Edvard Munch, and if you by Willpower, and this is a very famous painting. Um, it's a very abstract and kind of flowy thing of the guy, standing with his hands like this, screaming. But I used to study art and art history back in the day, although I don't remember much of it anymore. But anyway, I saw the representation here, and I thought it was just wonderful. So I figured I'd get into this one and give it a go. So without further ado, let's get that thing going. So anyway, we have normal Sudoku row supply. So like always, every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains digits 1 through 9 once each. And now we've got German whispers. So numbers on green lines, or at least 5 apart from their neighbor on line. Numbers may repeat on green lines if other rules allow. So here we've got a green Renban line, or green German whispers line. Essentially what that means is whatever this digit is, this one has to be 5 away from this one, and then so on and so forth. Then we've got Renban. I must have had that in my head. That's why I said Renban earlier. Numbers on orange lines are a set of non-repeating consecutive numbers in any order. Now, I understand why Will went and did orange instead of the normal pink or magenta, because this works and represents much better the actual painting. So we'll just have to remember these are not like Dutch whispers. These are Renban lines. So it just means that these 4 digits are a consecutive group of digits. They don't have to be in any specific order. Then we have killer cages. So numbers in cages sum to the number in the top left corner. So look at this one right here. These 2 digits added together equal 9, because that's the clue in the top left corner. And they cannot repeat. None of these can. Then we've got Kropki pairs, so numbers with a black dot between them are on a ratio of 2 to 1. So we have our black nostrils here. So essentially whatever this digit is, this is, let's say this is x over 2 or 2x, or whatever this one is, this is half or double of that one. And then our final rule is XV pairs. Numbers with an x between them sum to 10. Not all possible dots and x's are given. Okay, so there's no negative constraint on our x or our Kropki dots or our x puzzles. And let's just say what our x was again. Here on the x, these 2 digits just add up to 10. And then the orange and gray, excuse me, cell shading has no effect on the puzzle. It's merely to show the eyes and, of course, the open screaming mouth. So, love this. Will putting this into a puzzle of this type. That's really cool looking. So let's jump into this one, see if we can get it figured out. Hopefully I can, because I would love to be able to put this on the channel. So where are we going to start? Well, this 16 cage is a given. It has to be 7, 9. If that's the case, this 14 puzzle cage is therefore determined, because it can no longer be 9, 5, so it must be 8, 6. And can we continue with this 9 cage? I believe we can, because it cannot be 8, 1, 7, 2, or 6, 3 now, so it must be a 5, 4. And these are Renbans. I gotta train myself to remember that right now. So we know we have a 4 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits on there. So there's going to be certain digits that must go on this Renban. But we won't get into that just yet. But what we do know is we have these German whispers. Now this is a high digit on a German whisper, so therefore these 2 have to be low digits. And this can never be a 6, because if it was a 6, these would both have to be not 1, because 1 is the only digit that works with 6 on a German whispers. You can also say 4. If 4 was on a German whisper, there's only 1 digit that works with 4, and that's 9. So this must be 8, and this must be 6. Now we know these are low digits. They have to be from 1, 2, and 3. In fact, we just know all of these are 1, 2, from 1, 2, and 3. And then this has to be a high digit, so it has to be either 7 or 9, because 6 and 8 are looking at it. What else can we do? Well, we know what this is. The nostrils of our Mr. Scream here. I don't know if the character of this actually had a name of any type. I don't recall that being the case. We know there's no 8 on it, and we know there can't be 3, 6. Well, let's take a step back. What are the options on a black Kropki? I like to just state this in case people are coming on for the first time and seeing these. I know a lot of my viewers already know these rules, but I prefer to say them out just in case there's anyone out there who isn't quite aware of these things. But on a black Kropki dot, you can never put a 5, 7, or a 9 because you can't have or double either of those and have a normal valid Sudoku digit. So therefore, they have to be from 1 to it's either 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, or 4, 8. Now we just ruled out the 8, so it can't be 4, 8. And we know it can't be 3, 6, because if you put a 3 on here, you put a 6 here, then you had to put another 3 here, and it breaks the puzzle. So this has to be 1, 2, 4, and the 2 has to go in the middle. And we have to have 1 and 4 on the sides, and this has to be 5, and this has to be 4, due to Sudoku. Now, this can't be a 2, and it can't be a 1, so it's a 3, which means this can never be a 7, so it must be a 9. This can't be a 3. And what else can we then say? What's the best place to now look? Well, we know this has to be a high digit. This has to be a low digit. It can never... Okay, there's something interesting going on here. This can never be a 1, because I'll just write everything out here and we'll go through it all. This can't be a 1 because that'll force this to be a 9 because it's on an X clue, which means these two have to add 10. Well, we got the 9 staring at it, so it's not 1. It's also not 4 because it's a 10 clue, so this would have to be a 6, but 4 and 6 are not 5 apart from each other. Now, the same can be said for 3. 3 and 7, which would be the 10, are not 5 apart from each other, so therefore this is 2 and this is 8. And that'll give us our 1 here, and we can get rid of these ones. Now we know this is another low digit. It's either 1 or 3. It can't be 4 because 4 is not 5 away from 8. Okay. Now, is our Renban getting any further? It doesn't really appear to be. So we might have to come back to this one at some point. Let's look over here because these are mostly understood. We know we have to have a 3 and a 6 over here somewhere. Now, can we use that? Well, we can. This can never be a 6. Because if that was a 6, again, we're on a German whisper, so 1 must be on both sides of it, and that doesn't work. What are the full options here? Let's put those in, because this one's going to be the same type of situation we had down here. This is either 3, 6, 7, or 9. We said it can't be 6. Now, again, it can't be 3 or 7, because we're going to have that same situation here, where 3 and 7 are not 5 apart, so they can't fill out for both the X clue and the German whisper. So this is 9. It's going to give us 7 and 9 down here. It's going to give us a 1 here. It's going to give us a 2 here and an 8 here. These are 3, 6. Let's just put those in. And we'll continue on our Mary. Now, this has to be a low digit because it's next to a high digit on a German whisper, and it can't be 1 or 2, and it can't be 4 because 4 is not 5 away from 8, so that's a 3. And then this is a high digit. We don't know what it is. It could be anything other than 8. Well, actually, we do know what it can't be. Little jump to conclusion there real too quickly. This is either 8 or 9, and it can't be 8, so this is 9. Okay. Now, these I don't know that we can do much with. We know this is either 6, 7, or 8. So let's move on, perhaps. So we've got a 7 clue that is semi-limited, but I don't think it's limited enough to really make a determination there. Okay, let's look back on our German whisper here. This cannot be 6, because if it was 6, this would have to be a 1. There's a 1 over here, so this is 3 and 6 and 5 and 8. This has to be either 8 or 9 because it has to be 5 away from 3, and we already have our 8 there, so that's a 9. This has to be, well, these two have to be from 4 and 7, and this has to be a high digit because we've got high, low, high, so this is 7, this is 4. This is now just a given 5, so we've got 7 here. This has to be a 3. And this 21 clue, we didn't actually need to use it in the way that I solved it, but we'll use it as a verification that we did this correctly. So this has to be 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8 add up to 21. So we did not mess it up this time. At least not yet. There's still room for lack of improvement. So this has to be a low digit, and it has to be either 1 or 2, because 1 or 2 are the only digits that are 5 away from 7. But we don't see anything else yet to determine which of those is correct. Now I guess we're going to need to maybe look at this German whispers a little bit closer. Okay, we can now that we've got the 6, 7, and 9. We said this had to be a high digit. It can't be 6, 7, or 9, so it has to be 8. This has to be a low digit, either 1 or 2, because it can't be 3 or 4. So we get a 1-2 pair now. Now this has to be a high digit again, and it can't be 8, but it could be anything else. So that doesn't help us too much. And I was going to say maybe there's something we can do with the 5, but there's 2 possibilities of 5s. Obviously 5 can't go on a German whisper, because if you did that, you'd have to put a 0 or a 10 next to it. All right, so we're moving along quite well. Let's, that's kind of hard. I didn't even really see. That's kind of hard to see with the color of the light green on the German. I didn't realize that was a German whisper on there. But I do see it now. Do we have to look in this German whispers to see what we can get? Now we can go back and look at this thing because we know the X, because we've already looked at it a couple of times, the concept of it. The X on a German whisper has to either be 2, 8 or 1, 9. That's the only options that work, and we have a 9, so it can't be 1, 9. So this is a 2, 8, and therefore this is 8 because there's a 2 looking at it. Okay, so there we go. Now we know this has to be high. It can't be 6, 8, or 9, so it has to be 7, and that does work. This has to be low. It can't be 1, it can't be 2 or 3. It can't be 4 because it's sitting next to an 8, so it has to be a 1. That's going to give us our 4 and our 1. I won't quite mark out these yet because we're not far enough along for it's going to matter. This has to be a high digit. It cannot be 8 or 9, but it could be 6 or 7 still. Okay. Now what about this bad boy? It cannot, it's an X clue, so it must add to 10. It cannot be 9, 1, it cannot be 8, 2, and it cannot be 7, 3, so it must be 6, 4. There's nothing looking at it, but we can get rid of a 6 here and the 8 here. I guess I'll do it now. And what can we look at next? We've used almost all of our clues. We have not used this German whisper, and we haven't used our Renbans just yet. So, well, there's something we can look at the Renban. We know it's got a 4 and a 5 on it. We know it has to have, what do we say, 7 digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits on it. Now, we know that there is not an 8 on our German whisper at all because there's 8s looking at all of it. So it must be the digits 1 through 7. And can we determine which is which? We know one of these is 7. 1 could go anywhere. 2 could go either of these. 3 can go multiple places. 4 and 5 are already there, and 6 can go a lot of places. So we can't do much more beyond that. Okay. Thought that might be more useful than it is. What about this guy? It can't be 1. It can't be 2. It could be 3. It could be 4. And it could be 6. No, that didn't turn out to be much of anything. Okay, just checking my mic. I've had some problems lately with it going on out and off and on me. So where, let's look in this region here because we've got only 3 left. We have to have a 9 in this somewhere. It has to go here. Therefore, these two have to be from 6 and 7. No, not 6 and 7. 5 and 7. So this is not 7. And we're not quite there where we can sort this 21 clue out. All right, so where's our next step? These digits on here. I still want to... We don't quite have a ton of information for this Renban. We know it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 because we've got a 1, 2 here. It could very well be 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have to put the 2, 3 here and the 4, 5 here. That would still work with our 7. The other option is 3, 4, 5, and 6. 5 and 6 would have to be in here. 3 and 4 would have to be in here. That doesn't work because 7 will break, right? These would have to be 5 and 6. These would have to be 3 and 4. There's nothing there that you can't make 7 between those combinations. Then we have, it'll be 4, 5, and 6, 7. Again, you're going to have a problem with our 7 because you'd have to put the 6 and the 7 here and the 3 and the 4 here, and you can't do anything with it. So what do we say? It has to be 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these were not 2, 3. There we go. So we can do that. We don't quite know how the 7 is going to work because it could be 5, 2, or it could be 4, 3 still. But we do know this is a 2, 3 pair, so this must be a 1. This one isn't ruled out just yet. These have to be from 6, 7, and 9. And this one's not 9. It's the only thing that happens there. Oh wait, we do have a look at this column now. We have everything in it except for these 2 digits. These 2 digits. So this has to be either 6 or 7, but there's a 7 right here. So this is 6, this is 7. And that didn't, no, yeah, we get 7 here at least. That's going to give us our 5 and our 7. That 1 here is going to give us that 2. What do we got left up here? We're going to have a, okay, these can't be 7. Let's do that. We got a given digit here, which must be a 5. These 2 digits have to be from 1 and 4. There's nothing seeing that just yet. What about these 2 digits? 4 and 3. There's a 4 here. So let's put our 3 and our 4 in. We get a doot. That 3 gives us our 2. We know there has to be a 3 on this Renban, and it can't be any of these, so it must be here. So therefore, this is a 1. And we know what these had to be, right? They have to be from 6 and 7. And we don't have anything looking at it just yet. So what about the this one right here? What do we need? We needed a 1. We don't have a 1 anywhere yet on it, so this is 1. And therefore we put our 4 and our 1 and our 6 and our 4. And we're going to get this digit given, which is a 5. This is a given digit, which is a 6. These have to be from 2 and 8. There's a 2 here, so that's 8. That's 2. That's 3. These, well, this one is just a given, 9. And these 2, well, let's continue. 6, 9. These 2 have to be from 4 and 5. That creates a little bit of an X-wing, but that's about it. Well, actually, we can use that because there's no 4s on any of these because of that X-wing, and there's 2 4s up here, so none of those are. So this is 4. The other thing we can say is there's no 5s in any of these, and now there's no 5s because of that X-wing, so the 5 is here. This has to be from 2 or 3. It's not determined because of this row. It's all that's left over. All right, so what do we know has to go on here? We've got a leftover of 1, 6, and 7. This is not 1, so this is, let's get that in. Got a phone call coming in, but I'm going to call them back in a second because I'm almost done here. I'd like to get this finished first. Let's see, I got distracted now. I was on a roll. Where am I going? We need to put what do we need to put in these? We've got 7, 8, and something, 9. Okay, so this has to be 9. These are 7 and 8. There's an 8 here, so we get 7 and 8 and 6 and 7 and 6. And we're going to get, yep, 6 and 7. These have to be from 2, 3, and 8. And have I broken? No, I did this incorrectly. This is an 8. I don't know why I saw that incorrectly. But the 8s here clearly say that none of those can be 8. These have to be from 2 and 3. There's a 2 here. So this is 3, this is 2. Now, did we put our 4s and 5s in? We can do it here, though. We got 3 and 2, and that's going to give us our 4 and our 5 and our 4 and our 5, and there we go. Looks good so far. Doesn't say that there's a solution, but it looks like that was all correct. Let's just make sure. We've got 10 here. We've got 21, 14, 16, 9, 11, 11, 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of our German whispers look like they're working just fine. And that's that. So that is correct. There we go. And it worked out. So we've got a great little puzzle here by Willpower. Love the motif, love the scream graphic on here. Hope you all enjoyed that one. I certainly did. And I'll check you out next one. Thanks a lot.